Hello, everybody. This is the DM Orc, and basically, today we're going to talk about what's going on with Wizards of the Coast in regards to Dungeons and Dragons when it comes down to. Okay, I wanted to get the. Basically, when it comes down to the lore that they're trying to remove from certain monsters. And this is a subject that a lot of people are already talking about, but I think I better go ahead and put some predictions on my opinion, on my take on what's happening. And let's see. There we go. This way you can see everything. I'll probably zoom in on monsters and stuff. But basically, when it comes down to it, they're basically taking monsters and they're removing what makes the monster a monster. They're removing alignment. And like take the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves and so many other monsters, they're basically removing the fact that, oh, they're evil, or the fact that these monsters have like some sort of bad history, or there's a reason why they're evil. It doesn't matter. The point is, they're removing things like slavery. They're removing things like, let's see, slavery, or world domination, or hey, they have a superiority complex that makes them think that, oh, they're superior than us, which makes sense because if we look at, let's look at something that's pretty obvious, that's stronger and more powerful than us. Let's see here. Trying to find a red dragon as an example. Okay. Woo. Okay, there we go. Like red dragons. Red dragons are obviously more powerful than us humans in terms of, hey, they're bigger than us. I mean, if you look at a little tiny creature like an ant, are you thinking, am I more powerful than an ant because of my size? Of course you are. But if an ant was the same size as you would be like, oh, this is not good. Yeah, because they have superior strength compared to anything of the same size category as them. But anyway, we're not going to count ants into this. The point is, the red dragon, they obviously think they're superior because they're bigger, stronger, they have magical powers, they can live longer. And I mean, if you take a look at your dog or your cat, you know you're going to live longer than your cat or your dog. And some people do have that idea that, yeah, I'm better than my dog or my cat. But instead of looking at humans like in a loving way where they probably think, oh, they just need my guidance to grow and get stronger. Red dragons, no, they think of us as a nuisance or possibly something to enslave or something to just, use as a resource to survive. Same thing with other dragons or whatever lore you're going to put in your game. The thing is, Wizards of the Coast is trying to remove what makes these monsters so awesome, what makes them villainous, what makes them into the villain. I'm going to look up another monster. Good thing this is in ABC order, otherwise I'd be lost for days. Oh my gosh, it's gonna take me years to find it. Here we are, a lich. I'm not too big on this particular picture. Hang on, I'm trying to get it to where you can see it. There we go. Okay, this is obviously not my favorite picture of a lich. Preferably, there are other pictures I'd rather have. I wish I found my bestiary book for Pathfinder, then I could have showed you a really awesome one. But anyway, the point is, if there's a lich, and it makes sense that, well, liches are technically people who have become. Okay, here's a great picture of a lich. Now this is from 3.5. This is what I would imagine a lich should actually be. But anyway, the point is, if I was a lich, and we've seen scientists in real life, they want to become these great masters of science. They want to make scientific discoveries. But one thing that I notice a lot of scientists have is Ugh, I gotta go to the bathroom. Ugh, I gotta eat. Ugh, I gotta go to sleep. Normal things like that, to a human, obviously those things are kind of a waste of time. And if somebody became a lich, it would be logical that, oh, okay, I don't need to be necessarily evil, but if I become an undead, therefore I don't have to eat, sleep, go to the bathroom. I don't have to do normal things that humans would do. I could just go ahead and experiment all day long. So it is true, you could take an evil creature and take something and make it into something else entirely. But if Wizards of the Coast, on the other hand, what they're doing is they're removing what makes these monsters so villainous. What's making these monsters into something that we could use in our stories. So if we remove that, okay, like for instance, let's go back to, I'm going to remove the 3.5 book for a second. Like if we take a monster and we remove what makes it so villainous, then it's just a what? Just a creature? It's just a creature? That's all it is? Like, trying to bring up some sort of obvious monster here that, we could use. Let's see here. Like, trying to find something that I obviously know is a pretty good monster to use. I was looking up demons. But anyway, if we remove whatever makes these monsters so bad, then you can't really do anything with them. Oh, here we are, goblins. Now, I actually do give 5th edition props for the kind of goblins that they use. Let's see, get his weapon a little better. There we go. I love this art style of the goblin better than 3.5, to tell you the truth. Mainly because they actually look like a goblin. They don't look like a bat race. Anyway, if you take away what makes this guy into a goblin, like, okay, goblins are mischievous, greedy creatures. And if you take away what makes them greedy, what makes them into such an interesting creature, what are they? They're just a person. That's it. It's just a person. Here's the 3.5 version. Yeah, so if you just make goblins into just a person, then what the heck? You're kind of removing what the clues that you're giving DMs and players of what to expect from this creature. So instead of being a mischievous creature, if I looked at this picture and I didn't see any lore that said what exactly a goblin is, if I don't know what a goblin is in real life, then I probably think, oh, it's a bat person. I live in a cave. I'm pretty much nocturnal and stuff, right? Or maybe they think a goblin is a demon. Because it has that face. But no, that's not what a goblin is. A goblin is a mischievous little creature that's greedy and a bunch of other stuff that we put in there for goblins. I just realized somebody highlighted in my book. Oh no. Yeah, I just realized that. Somebody highlighted in my book somewhere. Like, see? I don't know why they highlighted it. Oh, wow. I have a feeling I know who did it because I only let certain people look into my books. But anyway. So yeah, if we remove the lore from these monsters, then all we get is a empty husk. That's it. We wouldn't know exactly what to do with these creatures. Because not everybody's going to look at the stat block and decide, oh, okay, obviously I should be doing this with this creature. Like, let's take the ogre. Again, I actually like the 5th edition ogre better than the 3.5 ogre. If we take the ogre and, let's see, if we take the ogre and trying to get the name of the ogre too. If we take the ogre and we decide, so if let's say I was making a campaign and I wanted to make the ogre into the villain. Obviously, ogres, they devour other creatures such as humans, elves, and blah blah blah. Well, if I destroy what makes this ogre so great, he's just a giant oaf. That's it. He's just a giant. I'll see him in a tavern. Yeah, that's Bob. That's Bob over there. But isn't Bob supposed to be the villain? No, he's like a country hero or something. So that's my big issue. So Wizards of the Coast. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I probably am. But now we're getting into Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast. As long as these people are going to continue to be in charge of Dungeons and Dragons and other games like that, we're obviously going to see monsters such as the ogre no longer being a villain. We're going to see role playing being more and more used. Not in a good way. We're probably going to see more role play put in a way where combat is no longer a thing. We're no longer going to see monsters being a threat. In fact, take a look at the Tarrasque. Woo! Gonna skip out. Hang on. This thing doesn't want to stay still. Okay, if we were taking the Tarrasque, which is one of the most iconic monsters in D&D, if this was supposed to be a world eater and all of a sudden I just role played out of it, I mean, that's okay if you could role play through a game. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But when they're going to make it to where monsters like this will have no purpose. I guarantee you, if they create like 6th edition, it's all about role play. There's no monsters that are actually dangerous. If they remove combat completely, we're going to see these kind of monsters being tame creatures that you could just roleplay through. And if you're having violence toward them, they're probably going to make it to where, oh, I rolled my dice, and guess what? The roll is super duper low, and I could kill it with one shot. There's no need to build your creatures. I mean, your players are no longer going to build their characters to where, oh, okay, there's no optimization. There's just, you just choose this, and this is your character, and that's it. And then anything you do, what I'm saying is, anything you do in the game will be way too easy, and there's going to be no challenge. No challenge means there's no point in playing the game. If there's no challenge, people are just going to stop playing your game and go for something else, which is why I recommend Pathfinder is truly the best Dungeons and Dragons adaptation, at least when it comes to D&D versus Pathfinder. At least that's what I see for the future. But if you're going to use past editions of Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons, that's perfectly fine. Go ahead. But if you really enjoy 5th edition or you really enjoy 6th edition when it finally comes out, then fine, that's perfectly okay. Just know that the future of Dungeons and Dragons is eventually going to become less of this and more political stuff. That's what's going to end up happening if these people continue to be in charge of it. So instead of this kind of scene here, we're going to see this guy turning around and trying to talk to this thing over here, to this monster over here, and be like, "Oh, can we talk this over tea?" "Oh, sure, one, thank you." Give me a break. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope this inspires people to maybe create your own games without referring to what is official sometimes. And, you know, just, you could do whatever you want with your games. I just hope that this helps people understand what is going on with D&D and what's going on with all kinds of games in general.